The book Silver on the Tree was a book about a group of kids who go think of an idea that was to them cool. They thought of a plan to go to the woods and search around for something cool. One of the main characters, Gwen, spotted something strange in a tree. It looked like a strange carving, but it was something different. As the group inched closer, it appeared as a shiny gem in the tree. As they looked, they realized what was there, a silver in the tree. It was something that the kids have never seen before. After the discovery, the kids were flipping out on what this meant or why it was there. It was a discovery of a lifetime, and the kids didn't even know. They were curious on what this was, but they were tired since it was nighttime and the kids had school in the morning. The next day the kids were talking about the silver and how they were going to find out what this meant tonight. They finished school and all went to hang out and talked about what they were going to do when they arrived at the gem. They went to the gem and they started to study the gem. The type of gem that they found was crazy and cost a lot of money, and they realized that they could make a lot of money off this. The kids being crazy because they just realized that they just found a gem that is worth so much money and they could become famous. They were starting to calm down and they started to think of ideas of how to get the gem out of the tree. Would they grab it and rip it out, or would they grab tools that they could get the gem out of the tree easily? They decided to get tools to get the gem out of the tree, and they started. Tug after tug, they kept on trying until they couldn't. They decided after 2 hours that it was impossible to get the gem out of the tree. They were depressed and they were mad that they didn't get the gem. Hello, today we are going to interview Gwen from the book The Silver in the Tree. Hey Gwen. Hey. So today I'm just going to ask you a few questions about how you felt throughout your whole experiences of you and the gem. First of all, how did you feel when you first entered the woods? I was very scared to go in the woods at first because I have never gone into the woods at night with a group that I had no idea if I was safe. I had to trust people like I have never ever done before. I didn't know if I was safe, so I almost ran away because the crickets were cracking weirdly in a fashion I have never heard before. I was about to cry because it was so scary, and I had to make sure I stayed with my group. I could barely see and I was holding tight to my friends so I didn't get attacked by anybody. I was just scared and I didn't want to be there, but I didn't want to look like a wimp in front of my friends. I was almost crying. Okay. How did you feel when you spotted the gem from a far glimpse? At first I thought I was just seeing things. And then I took a double take and I realized that this was something I have never seen in my life, because it was so mystical and amazing that I thought it was just a dream or I was tripping out. I moved closer and I thought it got bigger after I got closer. My friends were wondering what I was doing, and then they saw the gem. They were flipping out and realizing what was this doing here. We were all confused and we were trying to figure out what was it and why was it in a tree. Me and the group were getting tired, so we decided to go back the next day where they could study the gem. Wow. Did you and the group talk about the gem throughout school the day you were going to go back to the gem? Yep. We were bragging about how we found something really cool and we tried to get everybody jealous. We basically made everybody jealous, so our plan worked and we talked about it the whole day about it and how we were gonna find something that we the people have never seen before. We even talked about it to the teachers, but they obviously didn't believe it. We made sure everybody knew that we were smart geniuses, but we really weren't. We were really hyped to go out and find out what the gem was. We were so ready to find out what is going to happen. We were really excited to find the gem. Funny. How did you know that the gem costed so much money? Well, when we got to the gem that night we realized that the gem was a certain rare color. It was something the group had never seen before, so we did research and it actually cost so much money. We legit flipped out and we were making sure we were right. We could not think for real that we could be rich. We decided to pull it out the tree, but we needed the strength. If we got the gem we probably would have been rich and famous. We were crazed out. That's cool. How did you feel when you realized you couldn't get the gem? We were really depressed and we were basically crying, so we really couldn't believe that this was happening. We tugged and we still couldn't get it out. We tried really hard and we couldn't get that. The next day at school we were asked from all the kids that were jealous asked us if we did it, and we had to tell them. We were so embarrassed that we went through all those things to get embarrassed. The whole group was bummed and we did not want to talk about it. We were just little kids that didn't know how life worked. That was The Silver on the Tree. This book was very interesting because it always had me on the edge of my seat when something good was going to happen. It was very good and it was very crazy and intense. I think most people would like this book. This book was really good and it is one of my favorites. I would suggest to read this book on your off time, and I thought it was good. That was The Silver on the Tree.